Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand as I relax this New Year's morning. Happy New Year for the latest Manchester United news. We've got some good stuff coming for you today as well. We will have a live show this evening. Also got a preview coming for you as well. But it is New Year's Day and we did get some big messages from Manchester United players, none more so than Cristiano Ronaldo, who has big demands. Also, the Telegraph are talking about Ralf Rangnick's transfer priority this January transfer window, which has now opened. He wants a CDM, but he has very specific requirements, like a chef cooking a lasagna. Anyway, also we'll be talking about Twan Sebi and a few other things as well. So how are you all doing this morning? Let's fly straight into it. The contrast for me is stark. It's Ned Stark. We're not going to lose our head over it, but it is stark. And what that means is that there is a real big contrast between what leadership is at Manchester United and what... I've got ants in my pants this morning. I hope you all had a good night last night. I did. So basically, Cristiano Ronaldo put a post out on his socials yesterday and he said this: "None of us are happy with what we are achieving. We know that we have to work harder, play better and deliver way more than we are delivering right now. Let's make this new year a turning point." So that's Cristiano Ronaldo, who on New Year's Eve basically puts a message out saying, we're nowhere near where we should be. We're not working hard. We're not playing well. We need to do much better. Let's make this a turning point. Harry Maguire says, "Happy New Year to everyone who supported me this year." The contrast between leadership and non-leadership, we've seen it for the last few months. I just don't understand why we don't give Ronaldo the captaincy and take the pressure off Harry Maguire, who right now is under a lot of pressure and couldn't and cannot lead Manchester United. I've got no problem with a footballer putting a tweet or an Instagram post out saying, "Happy New Year to everyone who supported me this year. Thanks for all your support." That's absolutely fine. But it's not leadership. Like, you've got Cristiano Ronaldo reflecting and saying, this isn't good enough. We've got to do better. Our standards are here. You've got Harry Maguire saying, "Thanks everyone who supported me this year," on what's basically been a shit year. You know, it basically exposes leadership. You've got Ronaldo who conveys, "This is not good enough, we need to be much better." You've got Harry Maguire who conveys, "Oh, thanks for those who are supporting me when I'm not doing very well." It's insular and it's external. Ronaldo's looking external and saying, we must do better. And Maguire's going, "Thank you for supporting me." And there's no problem with that. It's not about Harry Maguire's better than Ronaldo or either way around, which obviously isn't the case, but it's about leadership. Speaking about Darren Fletcher on the show last night, it's a very interesting segment on Darren Fletcher last night on the show, if you want to go and check that out. But Manchester United seem to, as a football club, seem to focus around hope and, let's see what happens. That's Manchester United's mantra at the moment seems to be hope and let's see what happens. But in football especially, there is experts out there. If you can get a Fabinho in your midfield, if you can get a Varane at centre-back, if you can get a De Gea in goal, a Cristiano Ronaldo up front, and maybe a Jadon Sancho on the right, you build a team. And I'm mentioning a lot of United players there because I don't want to appear that we're not on the right track. But where we let ourselves down is what we did with the previous manager and surrounded him with inexperienced coaches. What we've done with the captaincy, give it to somebody who is way overpriced, may not even be a Man United centre-back, and is now the captain of the team. It's almost like a work experience. Do your best, Harry. Do your best. And I just think it's like, there's so many examples of this, but you've got Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the greatest players ever, who can be the captain of Manchester United, who actually has a history at this football club as well. Harry Maguire comes in from Leicester with a history of getting relegated and not winning anything. Cristiano Ronaldo's history, not only at Real Madrid and Juventus, but actually at this football club. You talk about DNA. I mean, United are just a hypocrite because you talk about, let's get Darren Fletcher in because he's got United DNA running through his veins. Hold up. Can I just remind you of Cristiano Ronaldo, who actually played here when Fletcher was here, won a Ballon d'Or, won Premier Leagues, won the Champions League. I think his DNA is probably better than anybody's DNA. Give him the captain's armband and make him happy, because on New Year's Day, a time to be honest, I do concern myself a little bit about if we miss out on top four, we might be in this position next year and going, remember when Ronaldo was here and we blew it. And I think that's something that Manchester United really need to take into this new year. Cristiano Ronaldo's demand that we need to do better. This needs to be a turning point. That needs to be a warning shot to Manchester United Football Club. Cristiano Ronaldo ain't happy. That message is put out. He ain't happy. Like, he hasn't had a terrible start to his Manchester United return. He scored a lot of important goals. We're in the Champions League because of him, but he's putting messages out saying we need to do better. Harry Maguire's putting messages out saying thanks for the support. Like, there is a leader there that's going to leave if we do not start to utilise and listen. Make Ronaldo the captain. Make him be the DNA and stop messing around on nice blokes that you want to do well. Oh, he's a nice bloke. We want him to do well. Let's get, all this moaning that we had last week from ex-players about Cristiano Ronaldo going down the tunnel. And then it comes out that he probably goes down the tunnel quickly because it's all about recuperation and getting into the ice bath and something like that. But whether he just wants to get down the tunnel and be the first in the shower, who gives a shit? He's one of the greatest players we've ever had, the world's ever had. So look, I think Ronaldo is the leader of that team, and I would make him the team, and I think the team would improve massively because of it. Do I think they will do that? No. Do I think there's a real contrast between Ronaldo and the current captain? 100%. And I think that it would make a big difference. But it was interesting just to see their contrasts. Let's talk about a bit of transfer news. Twansebi to Napoli looks like it's going to happen. Fabrizio Romano's been talking about that again. If it's more game time for him, good. I presume he'd play next to Koulibaly. I don't see the point in going to Napoli and sitting on the bench. You may as well sit in Birmingham with Villa and sit on the bench there. So hopefully, if he's going to Napoli, he's going to play games. And as we've seen with Garner and Ethan Laird, if you're not going to play for United, you may as well be on loan playing games. Tahith Chong did it for a bit at Birmingham at the start of the season as well. I'm all for this, so it's a good idea. And then the big story really is the Telegraph. They're talking about Ralf Rangnick does want a centre defensive midfielder, and the direct quotes were that he wants somebody with the right quality and the right mentality. And if they can't get that, they're not going to go for anybody. But if they can find that player with the right quality and the right mentality, they'll go for it. This is coming from the Telegraph, and he's got to trim the squad first, which I don't worry about that. I think in the past we've had Manchester United saying, you've got to trim the squad first before you can buy players, and that's sometimes been a bit of a hard ask. You're talking about people like Rojo and Phil Jones, and you're thinking, where are we going to raise the money, where are we going to trim the squad? This is obviously a legacy problem from the previous manager. We knew this was a problem. He didn't make decisions in the summer that would have made his job easier, and certainly Rangnick's job easier. But I don't think it's a difficult task for Ralf Rangnick to trim the squad anyway. We know Lingard will have told the club what he's going to do. Pogba, they'll know what's going to happen there. Cavani's going anyway. Matic has got to go. Mata's got to go. So there's 5 there. Dean Henderson, 6, although goalkeeper is not really trimming the squad. Phil Jones, you can offload him. So effectively, this whole trim the squad thing, you can trim it in January if you want to, but you can also know it's going to change in the summer. And let's not forget, we are run by bankers with a B. And the whole point about banking world, the finance world, is that is planning. And financial planning is very simple. We know in the summer, Cavani's gone. Martial's another one who's going to go. So we already know that squad's going to get trimmed. So I don't really take any notice of we've got to sell to buy, because we already know 4, 5, 6 players are gone in the summer. So if the right player comes up in January, we should be in a position to go, right, that's a good deal, let's do it. Even if nobody goes, and I think people will go in January, but I don't want fans to fall into this trap that the club might set for you. It's like a mouse with a bit of cheese, and you go and bite it, and it takes you. Anyway, the reality is I don't see that as a problem. I think if the right CDM is available in January, then Manchester United should buy that CDM in January, because we know that we're going to trim that squad. It's an absolute fact. I mean, just base it around Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba's going to go in the summer. So if a CDM comes available now in January, get them, because Pogba's gone in the summer and you've done a bit of work ahead of the summer. And United need to box clever like that, because if you wait until the summer to do everything, and United love doing this. Well, we don't know who the manager's going to be. We don't know what's going to happen with Pogba and Lingard. Or we don't know. We don't know. Let's wait till the summer. You don't have enough time in the summer. It's going to be a very short summer. End of May is the season. Start of August is the start. You've basically got about 8 weeks to do quite a lot of things. So we need to be active. And what do I think about the January transfer window? I think it's great that we want a CDM. I think it's obvious that we want a CDM. I don't care whether that's a CDM to play next to McTominay or with Fred or whoever. We need a CDM. And the usual suspects. Hadara at Leipzig is available for about 30 million. Kamara is out of contract in the summer. He's available for about 10 million. Zakaria, Mönchengladbach, I don't think he's signed a new contract yet. He'd be available cheap. That's just off the top of my head. There's a couple of others we've been linked to as well. So I don't think United can hide behind the fact that there's not players available. I don't think they can hide behind the fact that, you know, they need to sell to buy, because it's very obvious that players are going to go over the next few months, if not this month. So I would expect United to go and get a CDM. And I will keep saying this as well. The club need to take heed of the Ronaldo warning. They also need to take notice of the midfield and the amount of volume of games we've got coming up. I don't think from here, and I'd be interested to see what you say in the comments, I don't think from here, January the 1st, we can say with confidence that we're going to be in the top 4, go deep into the Champions League and deep into the FA Cup with the midfield depth that we have. I think that Arsenal, Spurs will be licking their lips at the 4th place race if we stick with the midfield that we've got. Every team plays our midfield and thinks they've got a chance. And look, McTominay and Matic played very well against Burnley, but did they win the midfield battle? I've heard people saying we won the midfield battle against Burnley. McTominay was man of the match. Matic played well, but I don't think we won the midfield battle, because if you watch that game back, Burnley attacked us quite a lot. When you win the midfield battle, you watch a Liverpool or a Man City or a Chelsea sometimes, or even an Arsenal recently, you've got the opposition on the back foot. That's winning a midfield battle. And I think whether it's Norwich, Newcastle, Crystal Palace, Burnley, Manchester City, Liverpool, every team knows when you play United, there's a big chance that you can win the midfield battle. We need investment, we need rotation, and we need depth in that area. It's good that we're being heavily linked to that. Everybody's talking about it. Manchester Evening News, Telegraph, Romano, everybody's talking about it. I was talking about it a few weeks ago. I know we're looking for a midfielder, and I know we can get one. This will come down to not whether we can get the right one, but whether Rangnick is allowed to get one. So let's wait and see, but I'm confident about that. Anyway, it's getting a bit noisy out there. Happy New Year, everybody. I will be back later with a live show. We'll also have the preview for this afternoon. Man City Arsenal, let's hope it's a draw maybe. That might be a good result for us. We certainly probably don't want an Arsenal win, although if they get it, fair play to them, the improvement's there. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe. I'm really excited for 2022. Lots of exciting things to get involved with. I hope you're all doing well, family as well. Take care, and I'll speak to you all in a bit.